Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're stepping into the ring for what I'm calling a skincare showdown.
Oh, this is a big one.
It really is. We've got two absolute heavyweights in the industry right now. In one corner, you have the, you know, reigning champion of anti-aging, the powerhouse known as Tretinoin,
And in the other corner.
the rising star,
Yeah.
the soothing defender that is seemingly all over everyone's social media feed. Hypochlorous acid.
It is a fascinating matchup. And honestly, it's probably the most common combination I'm seeing people ask about lately.
Well, it makes sense why. Right, because here's the typical scenario.
Let's hear it.
You start using Tretinoin because you want that glow, you want the anti-aging benefits, maybe you're fighting acne, but then you're dealing with the fallout, the peeling, the redness.
The dreaded purge phase.
Exactly. So naturally, you reach for hypochlorous acid or HOCl because everyone says it's the ultimate soothing agent. It sounds like the perfect fix.
On paper, yes. You've got the aggressor and the pacifier. It seems totally logical.
It does. But then you hear the rumors. You go on Reddit or you see a TikTok comment, and suddenly there's this panic that you might be accidentally neutralizing your entire routine.
The rumor that these two chemicals might actually hate each other.
Right. That by trying to fix the irritation, you're actually destroying the expensive Tretinoin you just applied.
Which is a huge problem.
It is. So the mission for today is simple, but the stakes are high for our wallets and our faces. Can you safely use hypochlorous acid with Tretinoin without rendering your skincare completely useless?
It's a question of chemistry, timing, and really understanding the microscopic environment on your face.
To help us navigate this, we're unpacking a really detailed guide from Aero Organics by Nikki Chase.
A very good source.
It is. It breaks down the molecular clash, the safety protocols, and a very specific 10-step routine that we need to get into. So let's start at the beginning. Let's define our players.
Okay.
We know Tretinoin is popular, but why is it such a diva? Why is it so high maintenance?
So, tretinoin is a retinoid, specifically a derivative of vitamin A. And the reason it's the gold standard, why dermatologists have prescribed it for decades, is that it accelerates cell turnover.
Okay.
It forces your skin to renew itself faster than it naturally wants to.
It's basically a drill sergeant for your cells. Move it, move it.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. It speeds everything up. But that speed comes at a cost. It leads to what is colloquially known as the tretinoin uglies.
The uglies. I think anyone who's started Tret knows exactly what that feels like.
Oh, for sure. Dryness, redness, extreme peeling, and stinging. It effectively strips the outer layer of the skin before the new layer is fully ready to face the world.
You look in the mirror and think, I thought this was supposed to make me look better.
Right.
So naturally, you want to put out that fire. Enter hypochlorous acid.
Precisely. Now, hypochlorous acid is actually naturally produced by our own white blood cells to fight infection. It's part of our immune response.
So our bodies make this stuff.
They do. In skincare, it's a gentle giant. It has antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. It supports the skin's natural barrier and just calms things down. It's like a reset button for irritated skin.
So if we look at this logically, they sound like the perfect power couple.
They should be.
One breaks you down to build you up, that's the Tretinoin, and the other soothes the process and keeps bacteria away. Where is the conflict? Why are people so worried they cancel each other out?
Okay, this is where we have to get a little nerdy with the chemistry.
Let's do it.
It comes down to structural weakness versus chemical nature. Tretinoin has a very specific molecular structure called a polyene chain.
A polyene chain. Okay, let's unpack that for the non-chemists listening. What does that look like?
Imagine a very long, very fragile chain of molecules. It's like an antique lace thread or maybe a fuse on a stick of dynamite.
Oh, okay.
This chain is incredibly sensitive. It reacts negatively to light, which is why we only use it at night, but it also reacts violently to oxygen or oxidizing chemicals.
So it's unstable, it's just looking for a reason to fall apart.
Highly unstable. When it reacts to these things, it degrades. It essentially breaks apart structurally.
And when that chain breaks...
It loses its potency, it stops being tretinoin and just becomes ineffective goo.
Okay, so Tretinoin is the fragile artist that can't handle stress. Now, where does hypochlorous acid fit into this? Because you said it's a gentle giant.
It is gentle to your skin, but chemically. Here is the catch. The active form of hypochlorous acid, the mechanism that makes it so good at killing bacteria, behaves as an oxidizing agent.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Right. Think about what an oxidizer does. It steals electrons. It breaks things down. That's how it kills bacteria. It oxidizes their cell walls.
So when you spray HOCl on your skin,
You are creating a local environment with what we call oxidative potential.
so tretinoin hates oxidation. That's its kryptonite. And hypochlorous acid is literally an oxidizer.
Exactly. It creates a direct chemical clash. If you apply tretinoin while that hypochlorous acid is still active and wet on your skin, the tretinoin can suffer rapid oxidation.
It's like pouring water on a circuit board.
Very similar. It's actually like how tretinoin reacts with benzoyl peroxide. You know how dermatologists always say never mix tret and benzoyl peroxide?
Because they cancel each other out?
Because the peroxide oxidizes the tretinoin. HOCl does the same thing. They do not play nice together physically on the skin. You risk degrading the tretinoin before it even has a chance to penetrate the epidermis.
So you're basically waging chemical warfare on your face.
You really are.
And the casualty isn't just your skin barrier, it's your wallet. Tretinoin isn't cheap. If you're neutralizing it every night, you're essentially flushing money down the drain.
And potentially making your skin worse. Because if the reaction causes more irritation, you're damaging the barrier without getting any of the anti-aging benefits. It's a lose-lose scenario.
Okay, so hearing all of that, the oxidation, the degradation, that sounds like a hard no. It sounds like we should never let these two bottles touch.
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
But I was reading the source material, the Nikki Chase guide, and it seemed to suggest otherwise.
The source material actually says yes, you can use them.
Wait, really? After all that doom and gloom about oxidation?
Yes. But, and this is a massive, all caps BOBT, it is entirely dependent on how you use them.
Okay.
The source explicitly states that published evidence doesn't confirm a direct bad interaction between these specific two in a clinical setting, meaning there aren't a bunch of studies specifically testing brand A, HOCl, against brand B tretinoin.
So it's not proven in a lab, necessarily.
Right. But the general principle of oxidative stress suggests we need to be incredibly careful.
So it's theoretically risky, but practically manageable.
Exactly. It's safe if you master the art of timing.
Okay, so the solution is separation.
Correct. You can use them in the same routine, but you cannot mix them. The strategy is to apply the hypochlorous acid first and let it dry.
Let's clarify that.
Please.
Because when I'm in the bathroom at night, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Dry usually means not dripping. Are we talking damp to the touch, or are we talking desert dry?
Yeah. We are talking bone dry, desert dry. The goal is to allow the HOCl to do its job, soothing the skin, killing bacteria, and then to evaporate or neutralize so that the oxidative environment just dissipates.
Okay.
Only then is it safe for the tretinoin to enter the chat.
That makes so much sense. You let the storm pass before you send in the fragile troops.
That's a perfect analogy. You need the battlefield to be clear.
Let's get practical then. The source outlines a very specific 10-step routine. And I want to walk through this because the devil is definitely in the details here.
It certainly isn't just slap it on. And step one is the standard, but we have to mention it. The cleanse.
The foundation.
You have to wash with a gentle cleanser to remove dirt and oil. You need a clean canvas. And note the word gentle. You don't want to strip the skin before you even start.
Easy enough. Step 2 is the application.
Right. Immediately after cleansing, while the skin is fresh, you apply your hypochlorous acid. You can spray it directly, which is what most people do, or use a cotton pad.
Okay, now step 3. This seems to be the critical one. The source calls out a critical wait time. And honestly, this is where I think most people fall off the wagon.
This is arguably the most important part of the entire routine. You spray it on, and you let it sit for about 4 minutes initially. That's just to let it soothe and support the barrier. But then you have to wait longer.
How much longer?
The guide suggests waiting a full 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15.
In another section, it even suggests up to 20 or 30 minutes.
Wow, 30 minutes. That's a serious commitment. I feel like most people spray, maybe brush their teeth for 2 minutes, and then immediately slap on their serum.
And that is exactly where they go wrong. That is the danger zone. If you apply tretinoin while the skin is even slightly damp with HOCl, you are mixing a live oxidizer with an unstable molecule.
You're causing that crash we talked about.
Exactly. By waiting that 15 to 20 minutes, you ensure the skin is dry, the barrier is stabilized, and that oxidative potential has completely dissipated.
So patience is actually an active ingredient here.
In a way, yes. It's the buffer that makes the chemistry work.
I guess that's a good time to go put away the laundry or read a chapter of a book.
Yeah.
You really have to build that pause into your life.
You do. It changes the rhythm of your evening. But if you want the results without the reaction, it is necessary.
Okay, so we've We've watched the sitcom episode.
Okay.
Our face is bone dry. Step 4.
Step 4 is the tretinoin application. Now that the coast is clear, you apply it. Since the skin is dry, the tretinoin won't oxidize on contact. It can penetrate the lipid barrier and start doing its work.
And then step 5 is moisture.
Essential. You follow with a hydrating moisturizer to lock everything in. Tretinoin is so drying, we know this. You need that hydration on top.
Just to clarify for the listener, step 6 and 7 in the guide cover the timing. This isn't a morning routine, is it?
Absolutely not. Tretinoin is strictly for the evening. Remember how we said the polyene chain is sensitive to light?
Right, sunlight degrades it.
Instantly. Plus, tretinoin thins the outer layer of skin, making you incredibly photosensitive. You will burn faster. So, tread at night, and step 7 is sunscreen in the morning is mandatory, non-negotiable.
The source also mentions some safety checks. It says start slowly, which I think is advice we always hear but rarely listen to.
We always want fast results. We think if we use it every night, we'll look younger by Friday. But with this combo, even if you get the timing right, you are doing a lot to your skin.
So every other night.
The guide recommends starting every other night. And importantly, avoid other actives.
What do you mean by other actives?
Don't throw vitamin C or alpha hydroxy acids or salicylic acid into this mix immediately. Don't exfoliate while you are doing this. That is just asking for irritation.
It's like pick your battles. Don't fight on 3 fronts at once.
Precisely. Your skin can only handle so much signaling at one time. If you tell it to exfoliate, regenerate, and oxidize all at once, it's going to panic.
I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier, sensitive skin. It feels ironic, doesn't it? We are using tretinoin, which causes sensitivity, and we are using HOCl because it's for sensitive skin.
It is a valid concern. Tretinoin causes sensitivity by thinning that outer layer. But here's why this combination can work beautifully if done right. It's about pH.
Go on. How does pH factor in?
Well, hypochlorous acid matches the skin's natural pH, which is usually slightly acidic, between 4.5 and 6.5. This helps maintain the acid mantle.
The acid mantle. Sounds like a superhero cape.
It acts like one. It's the invisible barrier of oil and acids that keeps moisture in and bad stuff out. A healthy acid mantle actually improves tretinoin absorption.
So a stronger barrier helps it work better.
Yes, without causing as much collateral damage. But if the barrier is compromised, if it's cracked, dry, or irritated, the tretinoin penetrates too deeply, too quickly. That's when you get chemical burns.
Okay, that's what we want to avoid.
Absolutely. Think of it like pouring water onto a sponge versus cracked pavement. You want controlled absorption, not a flood.
So HOCl is there to reinforce the shield so the tretinoin can do its work safely. It's the spotter at the gym.
Exactly. But you have to watch for warning signs. The source lists them clearly. Redness, peeling that doesn't stop, increased sensitivity where even water stings.
And if that happens, what's the play? Do we quit?
You don't have to quit tretinoin, but you need to separate the two products entirely. Use HOCl in the morning to heal and calm, and use tretinoin at night or on alternate days.
That's a great tip. You don't have to be a hero and do it all at 9 p.m. If your face hurts, split them up.
Right. Skincare is customizable. It's not a prison sentence.
Now, I want to talk about variations. Tretinoin usually comes in a cream or a gel, but the source mentions tretinoin sprays. Are those a thing?
They are becoming more common, yes. You see them from those online dermatology services. The question is, do the rules change if everything is a liquid?
Right. Does a spray tret play nicer with a spray HOCl?
The chemistry remains the same. The source's advice is that the rules apply strictly. HOCl first, dry completely, then the tretinoin spray.
Even though the spray might be lighter.
Yes, sprays are often diluted, so they might be less irritating generally, but the oxidation risk is exactly the same. Liquid on liquid just increases the chance of them mixing. You still need that dry buffer zone.
Got it. Now, what about retinol? We tend to use the words tretinoin and retinol interchangeably, but they aren't the same beast, are they?
They are related, but different. Think of them as cousins. Tretinoin is retinoic acid. It is bioavailable immediately. Your skin recognizes it and reacts instantly.
Which is why it's so strong.
Right. Retinol is a milder cousin. It needs to be converted by enzymes in your skin into retinoic acid before it actually works. It's a two-step process.
So it's a slow burn.
Correct. And because it's slower, it's generally less irritating. The source notes that HOCl is safer with retinol, but if you want the retinol to actually work, the dry first rule still stands.
Because you don't want to oxidize it before it even starts its conversion journey.
Exactly. You want to give it the best chance to survive the trip into your skin.
Okay, let's say I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, you know what? This 20-minute wait time is too much. Or
Yeah.
maybe my skin just hates this combo. What is plan B?
There are some fantastic alternatives that don't carry this oxidation risk. If your main goal is inflammation reduction, getting the red out, the source suggests niacinamide.
Niacinamide is everywhere these days. It's in everything.
For good reason. It strengthens the barrier and calms redness, but it's chemically stable. It doesn't have that conflict with tretinoin.
What if your issue is dryness? The peeling, the flaking.
Then you need to look for ceramides. Think of your skin cells like bricks. Ceramides are the mortar between them. They hold the wall together.
And for pure hydration, just getting water back in.
Hyaluronic acid, it draws moisture into the skin. Or squalane is another great one. It balances oil without clogging pores.
And if I'm just red and burning, like I need something that feels like a cold compress.
Aloe vera and panthenol, which is vitamin B5. These are pure, soothing, healing ingredients. They don't have the oxidizing baggage that HOCl has.
So you have options. You aren't married to hypochlorous acid if it complicates your life.
Exactly. Skincare should be effective, not stressful. If a routine is too hard to stick to, you won't do it. And consistency is everything with tretinoin.
Speaking of stress, I think we have successfully demystified this chemical clash. It feels a lot less scary now.
It really is about understanding the why. Once you know why they clash, that oxidation of the polyene chain, the solution becomes obvious.
So let's recap the golden rule before we let everyone go. If you are going to commit to this combo, what's the mantra?
The golden rule is simple. Cleanse, apply hypochlorous acid, wait.
And emphasize the wait.
Wait until bone dry, 15 to 20 minutes, then tretinoin, then moisturize.
And if you can't wait,
then separate them. Morning and night, don't force it.
perfect. You know, what strikes me about this deep dive is that we usually think about skincare in terms of what we buy. But this guide really highlights that how we use it matters just as much.
Absolutely. For the learner out there, remember that skincare is fundamentally chemistry. It is a series of chemical reactions on your face. Understanding concepts like oxidative potential prevents you from wasting product
Damaging your skin.
and damaging your skin barrier. You can have the best ingredients in the world, but if you mix them in a way that neutralizes them, you are just applying expensive water.
Expensive water that might burn you.
Precisely. It's high risk, low reward if you ignore the chemistry.
So as you head into your evening routine tonight, looking at those two bottles, remember the invisible clock.
Which brings me to a thought I'd love for the listener to mull over. We invest so much in active ingredients. We want the highest percentage, the strongest formula. But in this case, the most critical factor for efficacy isn't a chemical at all. It's time.
Right.
If tretinoin degrades under light and oxidation, and we rely on these specific wait times to fix the chemical clash, it makes you wonder, how much of our skincare efficacy is actually determined by the patience we have between bathroom steps rather than the product itself?
That is a haunting thought for anyone who rushes their routine.
Indeed. Maybe the secret ingredient is just slowing down.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll see you in the next one.
Take care.